Hello, I'm Val and welcome to my channel. I'm starting off by showing you the absolute state of my work table. It is complete chaos here, but I just needed to show you that. Let's zoom in a bit. Let me just move you. Hopefully this won't make you too seasick. There we go, that's better. And you should be able to see what I've been messing around with the last day or so. I've been making what I'm calling thread clusters, and they're just little embellishments which are meant to be they're to add texture to embroidery projects really, and they're using up tiny little bits of thread that you might otherwise bin. And I've got a couple of pieces of embroidery that I'm working on at the moment. There's this one. I can't remember what this fabric's called. It's some kind of artificial fabric and it feels like suede, and you can paint it and it still remains soft, but the name of it has completely gone out of my head, otherwise I'd buy some more. Yeah, so this little thread cluster, this is something you could add to this kind of embroidery to add texture and interest to it. There's also this one which I've been messing around with. This has wool on it, and that's a silk carrier rod. It's got a silk cocoon on there, and so something like this, you see that, you could add that to it. You could add that little one as well. So there's what I've been doing. I've just dropped one on the floor. Oh, I can't see it. No, it's gone. Anyway, it's going to be one of those videos. I've made a few of these. There are 3 where they've still got the stabiliser on them, which I'll explain about in a minute. And there's a couple, one of which is on the floor, which I've finished. This one hasn't got any beads on it. It's thread, and it's got some coloured wool on the back, dyed wool. And where's the blue one gone? Ah, there we go. This one's got sari silk on the back. So what you'll need for this project is you'll need all the teeny tiny bits of thread that you, if you're like me, let's put them on something. I've got lots of. It's these teeny tiny bits that they're not good for anything other than stuffing a pin cushion. You can't, there's not enough length in them to sew with, but it seems a shame to bin them. So this is a way of using those up. Now for this project, what you'll need, besides those teeny tiny threads, you'll need some sticky water soluble paper stabiliser. This is easy to get. You can get it off Amazon or eBay or your local craft shop. And this came in a pack of several sheets of A4 sized, and it's got the stabiliser on one side and then you've got a paper backing on the other. And what this does is literally what it says on the pack. It's water soluble, so you use this. The best way to think of it is as bread in a sandwich. So you, whatever it is you need to sandwich between it, the stabiliser is the bread, and in this case the thread is your filling. So for this, just cut out a piece of this stabiliser, and you're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to peel the paper off one side. There we go, and I'm just going to cut that off. Then this goes sticky side upward, and what you want to do is get some of your threads, your teeny tiny bits, and you're going to arrange them in a circle, roughly a circle. And for this one I went for yellows and cream. For this one, mainly blues. The other one on the floor was reds and oranges. I really can't see that, it's gone. Anyway, so you can go for a colour theme, or you can go for just a complete mix of threads. I've got a few here that I've found which are kind of sort of creamy, pinky, apricot colour. And you're just going to make these threads into a circle and lay them down on this sticky side. And this is going to be the basis of your cluster. And you can make this as small or as large as you want. Just make rough circles like this. There we go. can hear birds song outside. It's a beautiful sunny day. I'm going to head outside in a while. It's too nice to be indoors. It doesn't matter if this isn't any kind of a perfect circle. I mean, you can just dump all your threads in a big heap, but it's quite nice if you put them in this kind of circular shape. There we go. And you just keep going until you feel like you've got enough. Put a few more on there. Hopefully you can see what's going on. I'm not going out of shot. It's so sunny outside and so bright, and my front bedroom, which is where my craft room is really quite dull. It'll get the sun later in the day. So I've got about enough, maybe a few more in the middle, just to fill that space up. There we go. Yeah, I think that's okay. And then what you're going to do is just peel back the other side of your stabilizer, your paper. That exposes the sticky stabilizer. And you're going to sandwich your threads in the middle. There we go. Now, that's the basis of your cluster. And if you have a sewing machine that can do free motion embroidery, then you can do that on top. So what you're doing is you're going to put stitches in here which will hold all the threads in place. Because if you dissolve the stabilizer right now, then all these threads will obviously separate all over again. So you're going to stitch it in whatever direction you want, just to hold everything together in one piece. Now, if you do the machine sewing, the free motion freehand sewing, you could just do a spiral. You could do horizontal, vertical lines. You could just do some kind of crazy pattern. My sewing machine is very old and rather clapped out, and it can't cope with free motion embroidery. It can just about grudgingly do a running stitch and a zigzag. So I've been stitching these by hand. I've got a couple where, actually I've got 3 of them, where I've done the stitching on them, because you just literally, let me grab a needle and some thread. Here's one I prepared earlier. And you are just going to do this. Stitch into it any direction. You can do a kind of a seed stitch, you could do a running stitch, you can do a spiral blanket stitch, you can do anything you like. Just try to cover, like go across the whole of the surface where your threads are. So you secure them in place. And you can see with these, so I've done running stitches, I've done these long stitches which I've kind of couched down, I've done this stem stitch in a spiral shape. I've also added some beads and some tiny sequins as well. And on the back here, I've got some sari silk. Now, with these fabric clusters, if you're just relying on your stitches to keep all these threads together, they can be quite fragile if you're not stitching quite enough. So it's a good idea to put something on the back. So sari silk is brilliant. You can just get a piece of silk and cut off a little bit of it and just put it on the back and stitch that in place. You can also use, on this one, I've used some wool. I've got this wool that I picked up at a craft show, and it's just dyed wool. Really pretty colours, and you've got all these lovely curly locks. And you can add that to the back. Actually, that would look really good with that on the back. Kind of looks like a weird creature. Yeah, and you stitch that. So you can either include this wool inside the little thread sandwich, or you can add it onto the back, whichever you like. Also, if you don't have the wool, you can use, if you've got sari silk, you can use all the bits of thread that you get when your sari silk gets all tangled up. So, I'm rushing through this a bit. I'm aware of that, probably because I want to go outside and enjoy the sunshine. But I've got these 3. This one I did slightly differently in that these have kind of colour schemes. This one, I just picked up a whole wedge of this and just stuck it down on the sticky stabiliser and sandwiched it between the two layers. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to like this when it's done, but it is all sorts of colours in there. And I've just gone round and done a spiral around the whole thing. So that feels quite solid, more solid than the other two. But I have got a bowl. I'll just reach down. I have a towel. And I have a bowl. There we go. And I have some warm water in here. So I can dissolve a stabiliser on these three and you can see what they look like. Let's see if I can do this without spilling the water everywhere. I am one of those people that if I can knock something over, I will. So, right, let's do this one first because I'm not sure if I'll like this one. It is just warm water and the stabiliser, it dissolves quite quickly. So you can see that's already dissolving. You can see the soapiness in the water. It's just clouding up a bit as the stabiliser dissolves. I can still feel that's a bit sort of soapy feeling. What I usually do when I dissolve the stabiliser is just get some soap and rub it on the surface and just get rid of that slightly, yeah, soapy is probably the best word I can use for it. So I'll probably give this another rinse afterwards, but yeah, so that one, the stabiliser's dissolved on that one. So yeah, it's okay. Not mad keen on it, but sometimes you have to experiment with these things and see what you get in the end. So there's that one. You can see it's not falling apart because I did do those quite close spirals of stitching and it is staying together. Let's do the next one. This is the little green one, green and yellow. Let's dissolve this. Oh, there we go, it's going. And this has got the wool on the back of this, a little bit of wool. Oh, that's dissolving. Yeah, you can see, look, this is the stabiliser. There we go, look, there. It's funny stuff, but it is good for playing about with. Right, let's pat that one dry. Yeah, so that's how that one's turned out. I'll rinse that off a bit more afterwards, but yeah, that's okay. I might put some, I might put some more wool on the back of there because that has flattened so much. Yeah, that might be nice with something a bit more lively on the back. Right, so that's that one. This one, it's got the sari silk on there. Let's dissolve this. Oh, that's going. This water is warm rather than hot, so I think it does benefit from being a little bit hotter. Nearly there. Yeah, so that. There we go. Yeah, so that will look better when it's dry. But again, you can see it does stay in one piece. That sari fabric has stabilised it a bit. So those will dry off and they should look better when they're dry. Yeah, not bad. I think all of this kind of thing is just experimenting. The materials that you're using are quite low cost. You're not using a massive amount of this stabiliser. I think the pack of it, I can't remember how many sheets were in that pack, but I think it was about a tenner in all, so it's not a massive amount of money you're paying. And I am going to go on and stitch this one, see how I do with that. And where are they? Where are they? There's one of them. So these are the ones I've done. See, the other one's disappeared now. It is one of those kind of days. Oh, I can't find anything. Anyway, this is a slightly chaotic video, but hopefully this will give you an idea of what you can do and what you can probably do a lot more competently than me. So thank you for watching. Oh, there it is, look. There's that little one. I might add some beads to that one. I've got these really lovely bugle beads, so I might put some of those on there. Right, that's me done for today. I'm going to have a sit down and try and get my head together, and then I'm going out in the sunshine. So thank you for watching. I hope that was fun for you. Thank you and goodbye.